Okay guys, let me say this before we get started. As you work with this crushed glass, you'll notice you'll end up with more bigger flakes. So from time to time, freshen up your batch to get some of the smaller pieces in there. And just stir it around. And you can wear gloves with this if you want to. I haven't used gloves yet and I still haven't got cut, so I'm not saying it won't happen in the future, but it has not happened yet. Alright, so now that I've freshened up my batch, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my Mod Podge and I'm going to start on the base of my wine glass. And you want to apply a thick coat. So once you get that first coat on there, go ahead and add another coat. Alright, so now I'm going to go up the stem of the glass. Just go all the way around. The next step we want to do is go ahead and start adding our glass to the Mod Podge. Get a load on there and just pat it down. Go around, pat it down. So now I want to go ahead and add more glass on the neck as well. Now this is where the small bits come in handy because the larger pieces won't stick on that first layer. That's why I always do 2 layers. Okay. So just feel around the bottom and remove any glass that's hanging down too low. Alright guys, so what I want to do now is just let this sit for about 30 minutes. And then I'll come back and add my second coat, let that dry, and then move on from there. But look at how pretty that is already. Okay guys, I'm back. And I don't know if you can see. It's really pretty like that, but I see so many empty spaces that I want to fill up with the crushed glass. So what I'm going to do is take my brush and just tap it on there in the empty spaces. And around the edge of the bottom also. I think these would look so beautiful at a wedding. And you would only need to do 1 per table. And maybe do something on a larger scale with the crushed glass at the bride and groom's table. So I'm just going to continue to put the Mod Podge in the open spaces. And pat it on from time to time. Shake it off. See how much better that looks? This is gorgeous. Alright, so now I want to go ahead and add more to the neck and to the bottom of the glass as well. Same thing, just take it and dab it on there. And you'll probably still see some open spaces, but I'm going to come back for a third time because I need to seal this on before we move on to the next step. So if I see more open spaces when it dries this time, I'll come back and fill in those spaces as well. But you guys can see the difference. This is really beautiful. So now I'm going to let this sit for another 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'll come back because I want to seal this again with another layer of Mod Podge before going on to the next step. This is gorgeous. Alright guys, so let's let this dry and then come back. It has been about 45 minutes to an hour since I last worked on this, so now what I want to do is take some watered down Mod Podge and seal this. And you can also use some Mod Podge spray to seal it as well, but I don't have any. If you decide to use spray, you would need to tape all this off because you don't want to get spray on the glass because we're not done decorating it. Alright, so what I want to do now is just seal this, let this dry. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I'm going to be handling the bottom part and I don't want to lose my glass. And I'm just going to take my foam brush and just press it in there. And I might lose a few pieces along the way, but that's fine. Just completely cover the glass. Okay, just like that. So I'll let this set for about 2 to 3 hours, and then I'll come back and check it to make sure it's completely dry, and then move on to the next step. Okay guys, I'm back, and my crushed glass has completely dried. So now I'm going to flip my glass over, and I'll start to add more Mod Podge. And I'm also going to add a design using the Mod Podge. And it's kind of a pointy, spiky type design. You guys will see what I'm talking about as I go on. So I'm just showing you a couple of ways that you can do this design. If you decide to use a foam brush, you can just hold it at an angle and make like a triangle design using it, just like that. And you can also use your paintbrush to do the same thing. And as it goes on, you'll see me change over to the paintbrush. Okay, so now I'm pretty much done with decorating it, but I see some areas that I want to touch up, so that's what I'll do now. And then I'll start adding the crushed glass onto it. I'm adding more of the fresh crushed glass to the glass that I have in the bowl before I add it to the wine glass, just like I did before. While applying your glass, go ahead and repair any flaws that you see. If you need to use your brush to apply more Mod Podge to do that, then now would be the time to do it. So now I'll take more of the Mod Podge and I'm going to recreate the same design that I did below. And I'll make sure that the point that I have above will point directly over one of the points at the bottom. And again, you'll see what I'm talking about as the video goes on. Now I'm just using the bottom of my paintbrush to make sure that the points stay really clean. So now I'm just patting the glass down to make sure it's not sticking up too high. And then I'll just set this aside to dry. Okay guys, I'm back and the crushed glass that I applied before has dried. So what I want to do now is just take the Mod Podge and I'm going to use this brush. And I'm going to define the points a little bit more wherever I need to and just fill in any open spaces. And when you're doing this, keep in mind the points do not have to be perfect. It's still going to be very beautiful. So I'm pretty happy with how this looks. So what I'll do, let this dry for about 3 hours. Then I'll come back and add some more watered down Mod Podge like I did before to seal the glass completely. And then I'll give you a few ideas on how to display these. But look at that, that's really beautiful. And here are my 3 completed glasses. Here are 3 separate ideas on how to present your glasses. You can pour some filler beads on the inside of your glass and then just place a flower of your choice on top. Pour some water in your glass and then place a floating tea light on top and light it. Pour a small amount of the floral gel beads inside the glass, then randomly place a few pearls or some acrylic diamonds. Repeat the process to your liking, and then when you're done, add water and a tea light, and you're ready to go. Okay guys, this concludes my DIY. Comment below which is your favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you are a subscriber, make sure that you have on your notification bell. And if you aren't a subscriber, I would love to have you join my YouTube family. Okay guys, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.